Welcome back to the Lift Podcast.
You're just going to go straight into it without any warning or letting them know.
So, formerly known as the Wellness Hustle, we have rebranded since we've opened up this beautiful new facility called Lift Collective.
Yes.
So we thought it was fitting to rebrand the podcast to represent what we created together, aka this new podcast called Lift Podcast.
The Lift Podcast, yes. So we've been on hiatus for 7 months. Mm-hmm. It's been a while. We've been a little busy, doing a little bit of a lot of things actually, not just little.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be good to kind of talk about what we've been doing, what we've been up to, what is this space all about, if for those people who don't know what we've been doing, and you got some questions for us.
So this probably happened May, June of last year, where I finally felt ready to open up my own space. Because throughout my career, I've built other businesses for people. I've had opportunities to possibly take over another facility, but things didn't really work out, and I feel like the universe kind of puts you where you're supposed to be. And then randomly I asked my realtor to find me a space. And when we were looking, there wasn't really a lot out there. It was either too expensive, too big, the parking sucked, there wasn't any AC. So there wasn't a lot to find, and kind of just left it as is. And then randomly my realtor is like, you know what, I found a space, it's not on the market, let's go see it. We definitely, when we first walked in, this space was a dumpster fire. I'm not going to sugarcoat it because it is what it is. Maybe in the video portion of this we can put a little before photo of what we walked into. And I always tell people who come into the space, I had a vision and I kind of almost outdid myself because I did not think I could come up with something like this. And I think it was just my pure determination to create my own space that I felt that would represent me. And then I also had this vision where we could add a second component to a gym space where we could have some sort of health care component. And it just so happens that I'm married to a wonderful naturopathic doctor, and I'm like, what better way to enhance our relationship by asking my wife to go into business with me? Because that's a really smart idea to do to help your relationship. But yeah, you flash forward to a summer where we are constantly doing something in this space to get it ready, and then somehow it came together by September to start training clients in here, seeing patients in here, and now we are in 2026 somehow, still married, business owners, and growing Lift Collective to what we kind of see down the line as one of the best spaces for people not only to take care of their health, but other trainers and practitioners passionate about collaborating and just being in a safe space that allows them to thrive.
Love it. It's funny how you went into just the whole thing.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, it's fine. It's just so that's your point of view. Mm-hmm. And then from my point of view, it was just out of the blue, you were like, I think I'm going to start looking for places to rent on my own. And it was because you had been at your place for the last place that were at for a little bit, and I was also working there, and we were kind of just starting to settle into there. But from that moment when you said, oh, let me just look around and see, it felt at the time kind of slow, but it really snowballed really fast, because once we found this place, we started. And again, at the time, it was it felt slow because there was a lot of things that we had to deal with, like figuring out all this stuff with the landlord and blah blah blah, and the lease. But once it got going, and I feel like we didn't get a chance to really breathe through it. It was just now we need to do this. Now we're talking to contractors. Now we're painting the walls, we're taking these, we're putting the floors in, and then it just became like, oh, here we are, we're open. And how did we do that with a toddler while you were still working full time and I was still seeing patients? But you just do it. I think that's the whole thing, is you just go. And if you have a dream, and my husband, when he has a dream, he goes for it. He has the audacity to go.
Well, what's funny is, like, as many people know, I'm a huge Disney fan. Mm-hmm. And I actually posted this on my story a couple days ago. In the book I'm currently reading, it's called The Imagineering Story, where it goes behind the scenes of the Imagineers, aka the engineers of Disney, creating the parks, the rides, things like that. And there was a quote in there from Walt Disney that I've never even seen before. And, like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but he said himself that he's constantly doing the next thing. He's never, like, satisfied with what he creates. He's always jumping on to the next thing. And I feel like I kind of fall into that category, because once I get comfortable, I'm like, okay, what are we doing now? Let's go do this instead. So, like, literally what you just said, like, at the last place, I was like, getting comfortable, and that's the moment you should know about me, is like, the once I get comfortable, we need to change things right away in the most extreme way as possible. And what's funny too about that, it just, like, sparked a idea that I was chatting with another trainer, like, right after I opened, and they were asking me, like, how do you, like, calculate risk, or, like, calculate how you decide to do the next thing. And I told them that my biggest regret in my 20s was not taking enough risk, because what I did was do literally everything as possible, as safe as possible, and that did give me benefit down the road. But sometimes I wonder, like, what if I took on more risk when I wasn't married and didn't have a kid? I literally took a gigantic risk while I'm married with a kid. Like, most people wouldn't do that, but from everything I learned in business, like, in order to have a big reward, you have to take a big risk. Mm-hmm. And even opening up this place, it might seem like a huge risk, but it's not really, in the sense that when I told this trainer, I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, what would happen? You open up this big facility, you hope for the best, and it failed. What happens next? And then you, like, start thinking about it, you're like, well, it'd still be training. I just go find another gym, bring my people there, and train. It's not like the business fails and, like, you have 0 people to come see you. Like, you're still going to be able to manage, but at least you know that you gave it a shot, and you fell on your face. But that doesn't mean that you actually failed, because every failure will give you something out of it.
You bet on yourself.
Mm-hmm. And that's another thing I learned about myself probably the last few years of my career, is that when it comes to success, I ask myself, what has always worked? And it's myself. Like, anytime I did well was because of my own effort and my own, like, pull to that project, that client, whatever it was. It wasn't other people. I didn't rely on others. I relied on myself to find success. So when it came to opening this place, there wasn't ever a time where I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work, like, it's too much money. I was just like, yeah, it's going to happen. Like, I had that much confidence. And I think when you meet entrepreneurs that take even bigger risks than I do, they have this kind of sense of confidence, and, like, nothing stops them. And I think that's why a lot of entrepreneurs do well, because they have that, where even to everyone else, they're like, you are crazy for doing this, don't do it, you're going to waste your money. They're like, no, I'm going to prove you wrong. And that, like, determination and drive makes them successful. But I rambled on a little there, so what do you got?
What gap were you trying to fill that we couldn't find anywhere else with Lyft?
It's a good question. Do you want to answer that first?
I want to hear what you say, because you had this vision. You had the idea of this place, this space.
Mm-hmm. So it all kind of stemmed from my mentor, Paul Chung. Shout out to Paul, where he built a similar facility for trainers, that was designed by trainers. I think that's what they have on their website. But in the fitness industry in itself, you don't really have a lot of options to be successful. Because typically when you get certified, you get your first job at a big box gym, and then you realize that you're limited of how you can run essentially your own business to make money, make a living. So then what other options are out there? Maybe you go to a rec center where you get a higher percentage cut, and now the rec center is not designed the way for you to train a client. You may not have the hours that you want, you may not have the equipment that you want, and maybe just location, things like that just don't work out. And then when you go, okay, maybe I'm going to go rent space at another gym, then you have some other limitations there too, is that maybe in that facility all the trainers are in competition with each other. Maybe the environment's not the best because it's more geared toward like CrossFit athletes, and then you're dealing with the older population where they're like, I don't really like the sound of barbells dropping on the floor constantly, rap music blaring in the background, it's in a warehouse, it's hot, like there isn't a lot of stuff like that. So I wanted to design a space for trainers to have a career that also is safe and enjoyable for not only the trainer but also the client. And in my industry, at least here in the greater Vancouver area, trainers don't really get paid that well. So in Lyft, we have really competitive wages that we offer to trainers, and then also create an environment where we collaborate. Because when I first started training, I was in a really good spot where there was always trainers on the floor, and as a young trainer, I got to go see what other trainers were doing, and I was like, oh, I really like that exercise. I'm going to go ask that trainer what it is and why they used it, why they decided to put that in the program. And in that particular space, the trainer was like, yeah, let me tell you everything. Whereas most of the time in the fitness industry, everyone's in competition with each other, which is so strange to me because there's so many people that need help. And as a single person, you can only see so many people in a week. And now you're trying to steal other trainers' clients, or like not give you your secret. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, if the goal in the fitness industry is to help others, why aren't you helping the trainers? Right? So I wanted to build a space for that gap specifically, and then also see the industry get better, because, and I said this in my course today, like, tell me a time you met a trainer that is retired. It's not really existent. Like, it's very rare that you hear, I don't know, a family dinner, like, yeah, my friend Steve, he just retired as a trainer. Like, it doesn't happen. So there's gaps in this industry of like how to make a career out of it, having the right people around you to teach you what you need. So I wanted to bring that all under one roof.
You wanted a place where trainers can collaborate and grow together, help each other, and for them to thrive instead of just, oh, you work here, sell as much PT hours as possible and then get out and then get laid off if you don't get the hours. Yeah, and that's fair. And what about the healthcare aspect?
So the healthcare aspect is like interesting to me because like I've always been interested in chiro, physio, RMT, naturopathic medicine, but there was always a huge gap between trainers and that side of things. And then if someone had an injury, a health concern, they fall into this weird gray area in the middle. They don't really know which direction they're supposed to go. And then, I had an opportunity to be in a space where we had a bunch of practitioners and a gym combined together. And there were some big gaps in that as well, but sometimes it worked really well. A good example is having, say, chiropractic care in combination with fitness. But the gap would be, is this chiropractor, physio, whoever it is, trust the trainer enough to actually hand off a patient with a rotator cuff tear and feel confident that that trainer can take that patient from A to Z and be fine? One, it comes down to education. most trainers, their education's not where it needs to be. Because a lot of times I think trainers, especially young ones, are like, well, I got my certification, I can train people, I'll just look at Instagram and just get ideas for exercises. But if we took a little step further forward and educated ourselves, or had an environment where that was the norm, where trainers were just like, oh, what course are you going next to? Or what book are you reading about, I don't know, biomechanics? Like, then that becomes normal. So you're like, oh, maybe I should be doing that too. Where, again, most gym settings, everyone's in competition and they're just trying to show off what they can do themselves and what their clients can do as well to get lots of views on Instagram. So with the healthcare side of things, like, if these two professions are so opposite of viewing things together, like, why don't we try to come together? Because there's so much that we can do and accomplish. And like, over the years of meeting different practitioners, they understand that the exercise component is so important, but they don't have someone in their like back pocket to be able to pass that along. And like, they want to do the exercise stuff, but they don't have enough time, and time's a huge commodity when it comes to fitness and health, so they can't do it all. So we have this kind of like disconnect. But if I can bring everything under one roof, then things are going to get so much better. And like, having referrals going back and forth under one roof is a lot easier than like, yeah, go see my friend Steve the physio over there and book in. But most people are not going to book in if you tell them. Like, you almost have to hold their hand and be like, all right, go to the office back here and go see our naturopathic doctor, because you've been talking about how your hormones are out of whack for the years and you haven't done anything about it. Yeah.
There's so many obstacles, and giving them the, oh, you go and see them, it's like, unless you physically are hand holding them, they're still going to be like, I meant to do that, or I meant to go and see them, but I just haven't had the time. So having it in-house is really great. But one of the things that you said I think was really important was like educating, or just even having the collaborative aspect of like all the trainers. Like, the things that Raf does, he mentors like other trainers, and he also teaches part of the yoga teacher training courses. And so the great thing about having this space now is he can house that here, and we can have it so then he has a space to be able to just deliver as much information as possible, because that's what he wants to do. He just wants to, he said it himself, he's limited on how many people he can see. Like, you're training how many hours a week? You can't max that unless you're like doubling or tripling or doing like group classes like every hour. Like, it's not possible. But by teaching or imparting his knowledge to other trainers and like mentoring them, he's able to kind of reach out and support more people as possible. So this place just holds that, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it grows in the next couple of years, because the more fitness people experience what the industry is, they're going to eventually want to look for something like this. And I'm like excited to see it grow, because not only are we like doing personal training in here, like you said, like the courses are huge. Like, there isn't a lot of local courses for fitness professionals. You always have to like go to the States or wait for it to come to BC or anywhere else in Canada. You have to go travel, and there's not a lot out there. So like, I think Lift is going to attract the right people, and once we kind of have our little like tight-knit team, like, we're not going to have space for more people, so we might need another location.
I'm kind of building off of that. When you picture Lift at its best, what do you hope people feel when they walk in?
I think for me, just fitness in general almost seems like an intimidating space to go to, because if you really think about an average person, they're trying to go to the gym to better their health, and they probably made that decision because something triggered that feeling, like, oh, my blood pressure is high, or I'm like pre-diabetic, or like my back's been killing me for years and nothing's working, or like they can't do the thing that they love anymore. Like, oh, I try to play pickup hockey and like everything hurts. Like, I need help. And when you go into a big box gym, that's like pretty intimidating for most people, unless you've like are familiar with gym settings your entire life. So, you know, mom of 3 that's never exercised in her life, that, I don't know, tore her abdomen because she's had 3 kids, trying to exercise on her own, has some weight to lose, and is like kind of intimidated to go into a space. But if we create a space that feels safe, welcoming, you have trainers that actually know what they're doing, and, you know, can also be supported by the other side of health, like, it's a no-brainer for people to come here. And we try to just like, again, like just a safe place. And I don't know, for me, I love gyms that are clean. Like, the amount that I steam clean the floors here is ridiculous, and like, I get such good satisfaction of steam cleaning this turf because it looks beautiful, and like, I want to just lay in it. You know what I mean? Well,
that's the nice thing about having kind of a small space as well, is like, and also a place that you own, right? You can take care of all of that instead of having to work at places where it's huge, lots of people working, nobody cares, only the owners are the ones, and they're too high up there or whatever to actually care. Here, our hands are in this place. Even in the building of Lift, like, we put our hard work, effort, sweat, tears, arguments, sacrifices, everything into this place. And so, of course, we're going to care for it and take care of it so that when somebody walks through that door, they know how much pride we have in this place, how much we care about the people coming in, because we're making sure that everything is presentable for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking on that, what part of building Lift was way harder than you expected?
Definitely the floors. We have certain sections of this gym space where there's like curves and weird edges. So when it came to laying down the floor, it's not like, oh, we need an extra 12 inches here, just cut the floor and you're good to go. It's like, okay, it does this thing, there's a pillar here, and now I need to go around it, and you're like, wow, I should have like paid attention when I learned geometry. And like, yeah, so the flooring was definitely hard, but also like not only the measuring, but also cutting it. So literally using like a utility knife and like going back and forth. And I remember like hours without end. Like, there was times, and when we did the floor, like, we didn't have lights yet. So I literally took Angel's like grow lights for her plants from home and would move it with me, because there was times like, because we did this in the summer, so that means like I was here until like 9, 10, 11, whenever like darkness came at that time, cutting flooring. And it got to a point where I remember like having residual nerve pain in my hand, and like my fingers were numb with the amount that I was cutting. And I don't think that left until I was done cutting the floors for at least a week. Right? Like, it was a lot of effort to put down the flooring. But I think that, and probably the bathroom, was probably the most stressful like moments of building the space. But even with all those things, like, every time little things got completed, I like just saw the like end result. And we got closer and closer, and like, you're gonna have hiccups, you're gonna have shit that happens, you're gonna get mad at your like contractor, you're gonna get mad for something not showing up on time, you're gonna get like annoyed that you like forgot to do this one section, or you're like, fuck, I forgot to paint that thing, I have to go do it again, there's like still dust on here, this thing doesn't really work. But it's all part of the process, you know. Like, if it was easy, everyone would be building businesses and being successful, but like, that's just part of the game.
But you know what's crazy is there was I actually don't even know when that switch happened. Do you have a moment where you're like, this place is coming together? Because it felt so long. It felt like we'd been painting for so long, like the bathrooms just took forever because there was so much to do. The bathrooms was a mess. But like even the bathroom, like as when we finished painting the walls and the ceiling and like painting the partitions, at one point we were like, oh, this isn't bad, or it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be, because we had never done this before. Like maybe we painted a wall in our bedroom or like put up wallpaper, but like this was a whole nother beast that we had never done before, and we just went straight in. Like Ralph was like, yeah, we're just gonna paint, it's fine. And I was like, I guess we're painting, like that's great. But at like what point do you think was the moment for you, at least, when you saw this space or you walked away from it or you finished the day and thought, it's coming together, like this is happening?
There's like 2 points. So the one point where I like got excited about the space was when the ceiling got painted black, its first coat.
Yes.
Because I remember, like, for the longest time, it was just an empty capsule. There was dirt everywhere, shit everywhere.
The floors were sticky.
And the floors were super sticky. And then coming in to check on the space, and I was like, oh my god, the ceiling looks awesome. And then that was the first moment where I'm like,
set the tone, right?
I was like, I can now, like, see it.
Yeah.
And then when I think I got the first coat done around the whole space, and I remember I took a video when the flooring, like the lounge area flooring, was getting done, and that's when I had like the first like pan view of everything, and I was like, we're getting close, like we're getting really, really close. And that's when I was like, this is happening.
Yeah. I think part of me, I was thinking, I was like, it was hard to see that because we had been so tired of like doing everything, the staying up late, the painting and all that stuff. But yeah, I think once you kind of, once the lights turned on and were installed, and we started to kind of like put all the furniture in or get arrange the equipment to where you were like, because before you were just like, what do you think of this place? I'm like, I don't know, it's not here. But once we had everything in place and we can actually see what it was like so cool. Like this idea, I mean, for you especially, like when you walked in this place the first time and there was like piles of broken furniture and like the Costco cart and like the insulation that's just randomly in here, and the old 90s carpet that was here, like you had this vision. I couldn't see it for sure. I was like, are you sure? But you had this vision, and now it's here.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like, I don't even know what came over me, because when you came into the space, it was like an office from the 90s, and then like they clearly just like left crap here as storage, and then I had to look beyond that and like envision like the ceiling being open.
Yeah, removing the ceiling.
Yeah, because it also had drop ceiling, and then I got rid of all of that. And what was funny, I was thinking about this a couple days ago, where actually on my coffee mug, it's like one of my favorite cups. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Jesus. It's Walt Disney in the like beginning stages of Disneyland, and it's literally just like empty ground, like, and it was just like orange trees just randomly everywhere, and on the cup there's like a kind of half focused image of where the castle is, and then him like walking and like counting his steps of where the castle would be and where everyone would actually walk in. And Jesus. And like I've been holding that cup forever, and I'm like, I can't wait to have that like moment. Jesus. And like now I'm here. Like it's crazy, because like I just had the same like, I guess, experience with what Walt did, where he just like walked through and he was like, oh, here it is, like this, I did the same thing. I don't know why I'm crying. That's so weird. I did not expect this. But yeah, that's the vision. It like happened, and literally on my coffee mug it says like vision, like that's the word on it, and then like that little image, so I had like the same thing. Jesus. Whew. Here we go.
I think I think this is the first time we're talking about it. That's why.
Probably. Yeah.
Right? Like, we just went, like, building, and then we opened, and then we went for 2 trips, and we had Christmas, and we had our kid, and, like, it's just, like, it was just go, 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 because there was no time. Because, like, you didn't take any time off.
No.
You were just, like, working full-time while also building this place, and we didn't get a chance to just breathe and take it all in, because as soon as, like, we were ready, you brought your clients in already.
Yeah.
So this is, like, our first time actually, like, really, like, dissecting it.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a little bit, but we're not actually spending time. Like, this is, like, us actually, like, spending time. And so I appreciate you telling me that, because that actually really got me too. Like, that just, like, because I know how your brain, like, I know how you work, and there's just so much creativity here, and, like, for you to be able to have this space, I would go through all of that again. All of the hardship, all of the late nights, all of the stress, just for me to be able to support you in what you need to do, because, I mean, look at what you built, and look at what you dreamt of.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna be such an amazing space.
I don't know what that is.
The space is. Okay.
The alarm system over in another unit.
Let's end it off with one last question. If someone is in the messy middle building of something meaningful, what would you tell them right now? What would your advice be? If they're in the middle of, like, the hardship of, like, trying to build something for themselves.
One, it's really annoying that alarm is going off, but it's just to, like, trust the process, right? Like, you might not be able to see it, but if you keep pushing forward and keep, like, doing one thing at another, it's eventually going to come together, right? Like, every time someone steps into the space and they, like, followed my story on Instagram of, like, doing all the little things that led up to this point, they all say the same thing. They're like, holy crap, this place looks amazing. But a lot of people can't see that, and, like, I didn't necessarily see it, but it came out better than I thought it was going to be, right? So a lot of times, like, if you just keep your head down and just keep grinding, you will get to that point where you can step back and be like, man, I made this. And, like, every time I leave for the day, I always do a second where I look back at this whole space, and I'm like, holy shit, like, here we are. Like, it's just like, it's an experience, and, like, feeling I can't, like, really explain it till someone actually goes through it. Like, I would imagine this is how someone feels if, like, they buy a plot of land and they're like, I'm gonna build a house of my dreams, and, like, they go through the process of, like, framing it, the drywall's not working, this doesn't fit, the crown molding's not fitting, and you're, like, hating every little piece of it, and then it's finally done, you move your furniture in, and you're like, this is home. Yeah.
Basically, just keep going. If you have the vision, you have the determination, just keep going, because then you'll be at a point eventually where you're on the other side and you can see the thing that you built, the thing that you've envisioned and put your hard work into, and then you just get to live in it and enjoy it. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
What else we got on there?
That's my last question.
Okay. Well, man, it's a good point to stop, because, you know, we've been rambling on for like 30 minutes, but it was a good recap of our journey to building the space and our rebrand of the Lift podcast.
Yes.
And thank you for your guys' support. Feel free to ask questions, share our podcast, this video, come by and check out Lift if you're local. And hopefully we can be a little bit more regular with this for the upcoming months.
Yeah, that's the goal. Sounds good.
Till next time, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.